This is interesting. Hello, what is up guys? I'm your host Gordon and welcome to another one of my video. Today we got ourselves an XS-908 Raptor. I mean, come on, right? Anything that has a Raptor name on it gotta be cool, right? And yes, of course, this is definitely a very cool looking blaster. Man, this is cool. Just like Mac Potato, because this video wouldn't be possible without the help from Mac Potato for helping me to get this blaster. Mac Potato is a local Malaysia online foam dart blaster seller who sells rare imported foam dart blaster, just like this one. If you guys are also interested with other options, Mac Potato got you covered. Link is in the description down below. In the box, we got the blaster itself, a 7-round magazine, 14 darts, a fake reflex sight, and a manual. Okay, first look at the blaster. As you can see, the silhouette of this blaster kinda looks similar with another blaster. Yeah, it kinda looks like a Mark II. I mean, take a look at the shape of the blaster. Just that this blaster over here looks like it is on steroids. And not to mention that it is aesthetically intimidating. I mean, take a look at the size, man. This blaster is thick and it's kinda heavy as well, which is good. And not to mention that this blaster is also being reinforced by another additional 3 extra super long screws, which I personally think that it is kind of excessive, but why not? Better safe than sorry. The build quality of this blaster is definitely solid, man. I mean, there is no plasticky noise or whatsoever. The only plastic noise that you will hear is basically this handle over here hitting the body of the blaster. Oh yeah, speaking about this plastic, this is actually for you to put your finger in here and charge the blaster. Yeah. The entire blaster is of course made out of nylon. Okay guys, if you actually ask me, this is probably the most comfortable blaster to prime. I mean seriously, sometimes priming these kind of imported blaster can actually get pretty weird. Sometimes you prime it at the front, sometimes you prime it in the middle. Maybe once in a while you get one of those blasters that you can prime from the back like that. But this, you got a dedicated plastic piece for you to put your finger in there and prime the blaster, which is pretty cool. And yes, again, you might have already noticed that this blaster is of course another one of those blaster with slide lock function and all those kind of thing. I mean, these kind of functions are getting really common in these imported blaster. It doesn't really surprises me anymore. So basically, to those who are still new and don't really know what is a slide lock, basically is when your magazine is empty, when you try to prime the blaster, it will lock the slide just like so. In order to release the slide, there will always be a slide release lever over here. So in this blaster, it is ambidextrous, which is good. You just have to push it up so that it will release the slide just like so. The grip of the blaster is huge and comfortable, and not to mention that the trigger pull feels pretty good as well. There is a lot of Picatinny rail on this blaster. Of course, there is Picatinny rail located on the top of the blaster. We got Picatinny rail on both left and right side of the blaster, and of course Picatinny rail right under the blaster. A pretty ample amount of Picatinny rail for your attachment. Speaking about attachment, the blaster also comes with one of these fake red dot scope, which probably not the best mechanism to aim with this blaster. Speaking about aiming, the blaster also comes with a pair of iron sight over here, which is basically being blocked by the Picatinny rail over here, but you can still sort of aim with it. But seriously, for this blaster, I don't think either of this iron sight or a red dot sight will help in your aiming, because the barrel is located at a fairly low position. And here comes the interesting part. As you can see, from the outside, it kind of looks like this blaster have 2 barrels. But the real barrel is, of course, the barrel at the bottom, which kind of makes it really hard to aim with this blaster unless you are really good in your eyeballing technique. Speaking about the barrel, of course, this blaster comes with aluminum barrel. The air seal of this blaster is not that good. Definitely you need an O-ring swap. And of course, as usual, this blaster looks like it might take a talon slanted, but in reality, it will not fit, which is sad. In terms of the shooting mechanism, finally we got something different, because the spring, the cylinder is all located at the top of the blaster, and you can even see the clear cylinder from the outside. And definitely this is not one of those injection molded Lizzie Gecko firing mechanism. And other than the blaster itself, something else actually kind of caught my attention as well, which is these darts that came with the blaster. At first glance, it kind of looks like one of those Adventure Force darts, but it's not completely the same because of the line in the middle. And not only that, the foam on the darts kind of felt similar with the Adventure Force darts as well. So in this test, I will definitely compare it with the Adventure Force darts. So without further ado, let us go test the blaster out. Okay, so the performance of the blaster is actually not bad. In fact, both of the darts performs great. And that's kind of surprising. By using the darts that came with the blaster, it can shoot from 91 FPS all the way to 99 FPS. Not bad. If we use the Adventure Force darts, it shoots from 90 FPS all the way to 96 FPS. Again, the performance is not bad as well. I mean, what surprises me is that these darts that came with the blaster actually outperforms the AF darts in terms of FPS, and I was like, whoa! But hold on guys, yes, these darts might outperform the AF darts in terms of FPS, but not in quality, because they didn't really use enough glue for these darts. And the result is the head falling off the foam. I mean, this didn't really happen to all of the darts, but I would say at least 2 out of 7, the head fell off. So let's talk about accuracy. The maximum shooting distance of this blaster is around 7 to 8 meters. In 7 to 8 meters, it is pretty accurate. In terms of accuracy, the AF dart performs just slightly better than the darts that came with the blaster. Operating this blaster so far, I did not encounter any jams yet, which is a good thing. Just that the only complaint is more on the darts instead of the blaster. So far, I'm actually having a lot of fun with the blaster. In fact, this blaster actually might be a very suitable display piece as well, because it looks really nice. So yep, that's all for today guys. Like this video if you like it, dislike this video if you don't like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, I'm going to see you in the next video. Adios, guys!